the lineup here, and those kilos that you see on the right of your screen there, those are the first attempt kilos, which may or may not come to fruition, depending on how the athletes do in the warm-up.
That's right. A couple of hours ago at the weigh-in, these are the weights that the athletes and coaches will have nominated. Doesn't mean they have to come on them. They can change those weights a couple of occasions. They can go up or down depending on how the warm-up's going. But remember, the bar is a rising bar, so it will never come down in weight.
And just one explanation. We were hoping that Alison Marie Leroy Suni of Mauritius was going to be part of the field, but sadly she didn't make the weight, and therefore unable to take her part. I commiserated with her backstage. That's very, very unusual.
It's very unusual. So when you say she didn't make the weight, just to clarify, this is an 87 plus kilo, so she wasn't too heavy, she was too light.
Correct.
Did you know what weight? Because not often when this happens, a lifter will consume a load of water to try and...
Well, they were a little upset, to say the least, so one didn't push the moment, but yeah. So just to read, and it's Alicia Shikluna to get us underway, a sergeant in the police office, in the police force, I should say, in her country, been lifting for some 6 years. And straight away going for a personal best. Our previous best, 78 kilos, the bar at 80.
For sure, she's done more than 80 in training. She looks really good there. Very confident opening lift. Strong off the floor, maintains really good back angle, great leg drive to generate upward momentum on the bar. So, two disciplines that we will be entertained to this afternoon, the snatch, which is what we're seeing now, where the bar goes from the floor overhead in one continuous movement. Later, that will be followed by the clean and jerk.
So, straight on now to Sri Lanka. Thimali Aputhina, 80 kilos for her opener. Good speed, good lift.
Yeah, Hapatani in the competition safely with the 80 kilos. So for those of you new to the sport, this snatch movement from the floor directly overhead in one continuous movement, they're going to get 3 attempts. That's not 3 attempts at each weight, that's 3 attempts full stop. When they are called to the platform, they will only have 1 minute. They must make 1 snatch and 1 clean and jerk as a minimum to make a total, and that's where the medals will be decided.
And now the opening attempt for the representative of Fiji, Helen Saipua, one of 4 sisters, hails from the capital Suva. Well, nice lifting at these first attempts.
It's a 4-meter square platform these lifters will be competing on. They must complete the lift on the platform and lower the bar on the platform. The lifters are allowed to step forwards and move around, as we've just seen, as long as they're under control. They'll then be given the down signal by 3 referees.
Few Fijians in the audience. Fiji, who collected silver medals in both the women's and the men's rugby sevens. So the bar at 83 kilos for the Cook Islands. Manine Lynch. Another athlete who was off the platform for quite a while, only came back into the sport last November as a result of her university studies. And good to see that she's got her first lift away.
And a lovely lift it was as well for Manine. She's smiling all the way through. She was really happy backstage. I had a nice chat with her. Lovely extension, good speed under the bar. And the key here is being underneath that bar before it even changes direction.
So a second attempt for Alicia Shikluna, representing Malta. But it was an attempt at a new personal best. She's got the strength for that.
She has. She is definitely strong enough. Let's have a look. Oh, she came off the floor and was forwards. The bar went round her knees in that first couple of inches. Ideally, from that start position, you want to be pushing through flat feet. And as a result, the knees and shins should come back slightly out of the way. And the line of the bar should follow. It's very common for a lifter to open up at the hip and the bar to kick out around the knees.
If they don't, then it's just 1 minute.
So it may well be that she's going to have to follow herself. Just one other tribute I'd like to pay to the athletes, not just in this competition, but generally, is the fact that they've been really welcoming when we go to have a chat to them. There are some sports in this world where it's pretty difficult to have a chat and find out and extract some information, but not in the world of weightlifting. They've been terrific.
It just allows us to give the a bit more about their story and their journey, so we can share that with you. And some of these athletes really have come on quite a remarkable journey to be here.
So Sergeant Shikluna now needs to try and make amends with this third attempt. Jesmond, the coach there, just giving her an encouraging slap to make sure that she's fired up and absolutely positive about what she's about to do. As Mikhaila will explain to you, you have to believe.
And you can see her taking a moment here at the back of the stage to focus. As she steps on, the music will go off and the crowd will calm.
For a moment, Mikhaila thought she was going to save that.
Now it's disappointing, and she'll be gutted. First attempt with 80, she had bigger aspirations. You can see the disappointment in her face. But this is competition. It was better than the last one. It didn't drift far quite as much. But if it's just slightly forwards, you're going to be struggling. And that's what's happened here. Plenty strong enough, plenty enough height. Slightly out of position. And while this sport, yes, it's about being physically strong, it's also about moving with technical precision.
So, Timali Aputhena for Sri Lanka. Second attempt, 85 kilos, 5 kilo increase. Makes nothing of it.
Nice second attempt, 2 from 2, 80, 85, 1 to go. Will she go to 90? Will she play it a bit safer? Time will tell. Really good elevation. She's under before the bar comes down.
Well, I'd like to think she'd go for 90. That would be a new personal best attempt. And Helen Tapua just had a little look at the clock just to see how much time she's got, and plenty. And this is her second attempt. For her, a 4 kilo increase. But still trying to get 85 kilos. Close, but not quite good enough.
There's a bit of a whip back of the shoulders as she explodes into the lift. It's that whip back that just creates distance between her and the bar, and it swings overhead. It swings out in front, unfortunately.
Just to whet your appetite a little bit, one or two of the women who posted heavier openers here. Emma Friesen for Canada, 103 kilos. Purnima Pandey for India, 105. Emily Campbell for England, 115. And, of course, Fia Naga Skouras for Samoa, 120 for her opener. So Helen having to follow herself. Got a good minute at her disposal. So really important that she tries to get this 85 kilos to stay as close as she can, even at this very early stage of the competition.
Wonderful recovery from Helen Swepua, representing Fiji. That's a big lift, big recovery. See here, drives aggressively from the floor. This time the swing is able to steady overhead. Heels are off the floor, has to step forwards. That is a good lift.
And a new personal best.
Well, there's been just 1 second here. I think there's been a stop of some kind.
Well, you say that, but the next lift is already at the bar, so...
No, carry on. Well, I'm really happy that that didn't affect her concentration. There's some miscommunication between officials there. Yeah, people were shouting stop. Sorry, David.
Manine Lynch there with 86 kilos. And well done to her for keeping her focus.
And she was completely oblivious to anything that was going on. Basically, the jury had called stop to the competition. The announcer was saying stop, and she carried on, and she had no idea that they were trying to stop the competition. She kept her focus, went out, did the lift, job done. Brilliant lifting, brilliant focus.
The next weight we have nominated will be 87 kilograms, and this will be for Manina Lynch from the Cook Islands for her third attempt.
So there is some confusion here.
Yeah, about what actually...
They thought they had, I think, they thought they had already done 87, but that was only 86 on the bar. Well, let's see where this discussion goes. And they have stopped the clock, but they try and resolve what's happened here. Just having a moment. We'll feed back to you as soon as we know what's going on.
The technical controller will go to speak with the jury, but there is a technical stop at the moment. Once again, a reminder to the members of Birmingham here, you can't make too much noise, as we said earlier, so plenty of shouting, plenty of screaming. The medal ceremony will be big after this. This is a final. They will get medals for several goals, so they need your support.
So there's been a technical stop, so once we figure out what's happening, Ian will update you. In the meantime, feel free to make your...
So we're not sure what's going on. Well, they don't know what's going on at the moment.
Let me just tell you what we do know, and that's that at this early stage, Manine Lynch has got 86 kilos, and she leads the competition ahead of Helen Swepua of Fiji, who's got 85. Also, Timali Haputene, she also has 85 kilos.
It's just the reaction from the coaches from the Cook Island. They seemed puzzled when 87 was announced, as if they thought that might be the weight they had already done. There's a quick scoot back to the warm-up room.
Slightly disruptive for athletes who are trying to prepare.
And here we've got the coach from the Cook Islands just making a quick change on the paperwork. I don't really know what this is. I'm sure the scoreboard will rectify in a second.
Well, they can't now.
So,
yeah, that was a question of whether the jury wanted to look at something, but well, so the bar now is up to 89 kilos. And Manina Lynch of the Cook Islands has pushed up the weight that she will next take to 90. So plenty of time here for Dimali. And this is her third attempt. Opened on 80, got 85, looking for 89. It was harder, but she has got the 3 white lights she was seeking.
really good sequence of lifts, 3 out of 3, smiles all round, maintains a strong position off the floor, gets really good extension. Notice as she's dropping under, that's when the arms bend, allowing the bar to stay nice and close to the body.
So here comes Manine for the Cook Islands, 90 kilos. So 83, 86 and 90. Now this is right on her personal best. Well, pity, hoping for 3 out of 3, didn't happen.
No, didn't. She showed what a tremendous competitor she was, though, with that focus on the previous attempt. Here, really gave it everything. It was so close. She's definitely strong for it. That will come soon.
Next on stage, first appearance of Charisma Tarrant. Charisma Amour Tarrant. Now remember, this is a woman who's already very much an achiever. A silver medal 4 years ago in the super heavyweight class for Nauru, now lifting for Australia. Good speed, good precision.
Looks good to me. Very nice opener, 95 kilos. She's shaking her head. Maybe it wasn't as smooth or as comfortable as she wanted. Goes around the knees a little, catches it very high. Plenty more room for improvement.
But straight into first place for the moment.
96 kilograms for the second attempt of Charisma Amour Tarrant from Australia.
Well, this is the woman who had those problems with her knee and elbows back in 2020, and it's been a long journey to recover, but good to see her back on the stage. Lifts out of the famous Cougars Club in Brisbane. It's very interesting talking to a lot of lifters when you talk to them about how they like to get away from weightlifting if they have a day off, because weightlifters have a day off as well. Some of the countries like India often work 6 days a week, even 2 sessions a day. Others generally work, what, 5 days, 1 session.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's different. Depending on age as well will affect how often you train, but most of these lifters will be doing at least 5 days a week, and as you said, sometimes double sessions. They may have 1, 2 days off, or recovery, active recovery sometimes.
Yes, a popular pastime is sleep. So Charisma has to wait till the loaders are off the platform and the bar is set. And the bar goes to 100 kilos. Well, you could see it was a little skewed.
So take a look at the replay here. Not a huge amount wrong with that. She needs to make sure she's driving through flat feet and be confident. Very strong, plenty of height. Fine line between it being absolutely in the right spot and being too far forwards. And here we see Jay Saxton, coach for Australia, sorting out the knee wraps. This is where a lifter now has just 2 minutes. Can you imagine now if the clock had been burnt? She would be down to just a minute. I'm not a fan of these knee wraps for that reason. They just take a long time to roll up and roll back on. That's why you'll see most weightlifters wear knee sleeves as opposed to knee wraps. Personal preference though.
Well, she is going to come out for her third attempt. Everybody else wants more kilos, so recovery time is pretty well done. But she's very close to being able to come out, just needs to sort these knee wraps out.
Let's go, Berman. Let's start the clap again.
So, big cheer for the Aussie, as she is now. But having said that, plenty of family back in Nauru will be watching this on Facebook. So, missed the second attempt. Clearly strong enough.
Corrected, and the shake of the head. Why did I let that second lift go? She'll see it as a wasted opportunity, but that really was a great recovery. See here, again, powerful, strong, this time overhead. Still on her toes though, so haven't corrected it perfectly. But that will do, thank you very much.
But really important, because although there are several lifters yet to start, you never know what's going to happen. And so onto the stage for the first attempt, the representative of Tonga, Koini Manumua. Quite effective start from the lifter, who is actually based out of San Francisco these days.
Very effective start here. Sits into a really good position overhead. One thing we haven't talked about is the grip with weightlifting. The lifters will all be using hook grip. That's where the thumb is trapped between the fingers and the bar. You lock on to the bar, and then you don't need to worry about grip. So none of this is about grip strength. On a snatch, doesn't matter if you release the thumbs or if you keep them in position overhead. On a clean, you'll see most of these lifters will release the thumbs.
In picture, this is Purnima Pandey, all the way from Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh, representing India, of course. But she's going to have to wait, because at the moment, the Indians are not looking for 102 kilos, looking for 103. So I think it's going to be, indeed, Koini from Tonga to come out again.
And David, it looks like this is where we are hotting up for positions. No medals at stake for the snatch or the clean and jerk. It's just the overall total. But we've got Tonga that we've just seen. We've got India. We've got Canada. They're all going to be coming out around the 102, 103, 104 kind of numbers. So they're going to be fighting hard between themselves. We've got two lifters with big openers. Emily Campbell, 115. Giga Stowers of Samoa with 120.
And the Tongans put the bar up to 103 kilos, which means it is the turn of Purnima Pandey of India to open up on 103 kilos. Won the gold medal in the Commonwealth Championships in Uzbekistan, Tashkent, last December. National champion. Not expected, but
a sloppy first attempt, I'd say. Catches it there and just rides it down. She wants to be underneath that bar a lot quicker and a lot more dynamic. Here, just watch where she catches it. There, now she rides it down. She's got to be faster to the bottom and catching it confidently. Her clock's been burnt as well. So another lifter was called on this weight. They've now gone up. So instead of having the 2-minute clock, she finds herself now with a 1-minute clock counting. She's down to best part of 45 seconds already, so not much time to recover.
Yeah, that was as a result of the Tongan coaches putting up their lifter's second attempt to 104 kilos.
And this game is very much about tactics backstage as well as performing on the platform.
As we said all the way through the Commonwealth Games, weightlifting starts with a chess match, develops into a poker game. Must make this really important.
Much better.
Wasn't it just?
That was a much more aggressive lift, and you know, she really did sharpen up. Here, plenty of height on the bar, but she was a lot tighter, more confident underneath the bar to receive it. Well done. See here, long arms, uses the legs throughout. All the arms do is receive the bar.
The second attempt of Kuinini Manumua, Tonga.
So Kuinini Manumua of Tonga, it'll be her turn. Here she is. Coached by Kevin Doherty. He's the, well, you might see him, he's in the black and red top if they show you the coaches. He was the one who identified her as a potential weightlifter who could do something special. This, of course, her first Commonwealth Games. That is a good second attempt at 104 kilos.
Well, she's in great shape and she's really making her mark here. Coach is still fired up, wants her to stay focused. You cannot celebrate these kind of weights just yet.
Just a kilo short of her lifetime best at the moment. Well, the bar automatically goes up a kilo after each lift, but that's generally a holding position. You won't see many athletes come out and take that extra kilo.
So what we've got going on here is the clock ticking. Coach is just hanging on a second. He's waiting for that clock to run pretty close to 30 seconds before he changes the weight. And he's just buying a little bit more recovery time for his lifter.
So not 1 but a 2 kilo increase for Kuinini at this moment, and out comes Emma Friesen for Canada. This is the woman who hails originally from Edmonton, but these days with a lot of Canadian lifters based out of Quebec, not far from Montreal. So 106 kilos for her opening attempt. Well, these first attempt failures all through the competitions here, Michaela, they proved very expensive.
They have, and that bar drifted around the knees as she came off the floor, and that's where the error occurred. Around the knees, you open up at the hips, throw the shoulders back, leaving the bar out in front. Uncharacteristic of the Canadian lifters, we've seen some really consistent performances. Right now, Dallas Santavi is the coach. That's Bodhi's father. Had a good chat with him the other day. He's competed at a couple of Olympic Games, a couple of Commonwealth Games.
And there you get a really good example of the Canadian coaches splitting the work. One, keeping an eye on the board to put in the entries, change the weight. The other two with the lifter. Yeah,
the coaching staff should absolutely know what their role is. One stays, as you said, with the lifter to change the weights, to give the technical feedback. Another one then will be at the scoreboard, and they will pretty much hover around the scoreboard, or should do, for the whole competition, keeping an eye and making sure that there are no sudden weight changes which catch their lifter off guard, because they've got to time the warm-up impeccably.
She had a decent result in the Junior World Championships in May this year in Crete. 110 kilos in the snatch, established that as her personal best to date. Only 20, so young, but potentially could be good. And she, like so many, will kick herself that she didn't do that first time around.
You're quite right, David. There'll be questions asked. She will be frustrated with herself for the earlier miss, but she's done very well to put one on the board. She's got 1 attempt remaining to try and find a few more kilos. She's in first place at the moment. Still 2 lifters yet to start their campaign, but she will want a few more kilos to try and get an advantage.
So, Tonga, last attempt, third attempt for Kuinini Manomua. Went to the Olympics last year, finished a respectable 8th. Just about got there. 107 kilos, new personal best.
Outstanding lifting, great series of lifts. 3 from 3, confident lifting all the way through. The step forwards doesn't matter, she knows she's got it. She breaks the smile. And look what it means to the coaching staff as well. This is a team event.
That gives Tonga the lead, but Pandey Purnima on 108 kilos to try and put herself into first place. Two lifters still to start.
The one that got away.
And it leaves her with only 1 good lift out of 3.
Let's have a look what went wrong. Looked to be in a really good position. I'm not sure what the jump forwards was. It was instinctive. She did what she felt she needed to do to steady herself. But I wouldn't recommend anyone trying to jump in that position with that kind of weight.
So our loaders are also part of our armed forces, so a huge round of applause please for our loaders.
Well, next out will be Canada's Emma Friesen. Here she is. Bar has gone to 110 kilos. So recovered with that good second attempt of 106, so a 4-kilo increase here. And this to put myself and Canada into first position. But not so much about position at the moment, it's all about kilos. 110 needs this, wants this to carry forward into the clean and jerk. Big question. Not answered.
And she's left back on the 106. It's going to be very, very tight going into the clean and jerk. She would have desperately liked to have taken that lift. But we can see here everything as it goes around the knees, it's just in front of her. She lands on her toes as well. The heels are off. Not to beat.
So the situation just at the moment, before we see Emily Campbell actually take her first lift, is that the Tongan Queenini Manumua with 107 kilos is the current leader. An enormous roar for the Olympic bronze medalist, the world bronze medalist, the European champion not once but twice, and the bronze medalist from the Gold Coast 4 years ago. From Alfreton, not too far away from Nottingham, Emily Campbell in the office, ready to go. 117 kilos. First attempt, good lift, good start.
Yes, David, and it's worth noting, she posted 1:15 as her opener. She's gone up to 117. Samoan posted 120. She's come down to 117. So both lifters are likely here to be meeting on the same weight. Emily has said, I can do it. Now it's passed to Samoa.
Fianaiga Stowers, the defending champion, as you rightly explained, coming out on 117 kilos.
If this is the case, this may be a sign that something hasn't quite gone to plan if she's coming in lighter than she planned.
Well, that is a good lift, so Emily Campbell and Fianaiga Stowers are even Steven after their first attempts.
Well, even Stevens, remember, the lifter that gets there first takes the lead. In this case, we saw a big early arm bend, as we have done with some of the Samoans. It just means that she has to swing the shoulders back to compensate. So in terms of technical efficiency, I'm going to give it to Emily at the moment. In terms of weight, as you said, it's level pegging.
Yeah, at this stage, not too worried about who's where. It's all about the kilos they're lifting.
It is. Forget records, forget personal best. This is purely about medals. These lifters both need to execute 3 out of 3. That will be their total focus. They'll be focused on themselves, not on each other. The coaches, however, well, they're going to be paying very close interest to what the others are doing.
Well, this is where the poker game will actually begin quite early. Emily Campbell, she and her coaches have agreed that a 4-kilo increase to 121 is the next step they want for the Samoan. Just waiting to see what they're actually going for. This is interesting.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out what is going on here.
Can't believe that.
There surely has not been a mistake from the coaching staff.
Well, there has to be something wrong,
Right,
because there's no way she's going to take 1 kilo more.
Well, no. The clock's been reset to 2... Oh, I don't know what's going on. 2 minutes by the looks of it. Okay.
Right.
It's irrelevant what's gone on. It's going up to 21.
It is. And now Stowers, the second attempt, has been entered at 121 kilos. No lack of concentration from the lifters, but in other parts, a little more concentration required.
Big lift here for Emily. Consistency is what's needed.
Got a personal best of 122, so just a kilo shy of that. Athleticism.
The lift is better than the first. Emily Campbell, 2 from 2, 121 on the board. Looks calm, looks focused, technically outstanding. Drives the floor away, is fast into extension, lots of height on the bar to drop under. Cyril Martin has done a great job with her. Stu Martin, coach from England, no messing around. He knows exactly what his job is. Straight to the table, make sure the weight is changed in time.
So Finaigo Stowers also on 121 kilos. Remembering that after a 2-year break, she only came back into full-time training last November. Is that going to be a factor? Advantage Campbell.
Well, the first mistake has been made. Huge tug of the arms. That results in momentum being lost. She then tries to whip the shoulders to get the momentum back. It's not technically efficient through the middle of the lift, and that's why she's struggling to get underneath. So this will now be a 2-minute clock for Stowers representing Samoa. She'll have to follow herself, unless, of course, she decides to go up. Emily Campbell can just sit and wait, bide her time for a moment.
Yeah, you think that Stowers would be sensible to just make sure that she gets this weight. Emily Campbell isn't going to run away. She might get an extra couple of kilos, but the game is still on very much so between these two when we move into the second discipline, the clean and jerk.
This is a nerve-wracking time for both athletes. They have to really keep their focus.
Well, she needs this because were she to fail this attempt, she'd be left down on 117 kilos. And that definitely would give Emily an advantage. And no mistake this time.
That's a very, very good recovery. She's got the 121. It's level pegging once more. But she is done with attempts. That's it. 3 attempts done. Emily, however, still has 1 to go.
Yeah, and Emily, who I thought was going to come out for 123, they've increased it to 124. 121 was actually a games record, so overtaking the Commonwealth Games standards to set the record. So obviously, were she to lift this up, it would be a new record.
Yes, it will. New record, as you said, new competition best. She has hit a 125 in training.
Yeah, we're not really so worried about records. It's all about kilos and getting that advantage. Now, if she can get a 3-kilo advantage, that's a big boost.
This will be huge for Emily.
Very, very good. Right on the front of the platform. But Emily Campbell, 3 out of 3, 124. A new games record, a new personal best, and an excellent first half of this 87 super heavyweight gold medal final.
That was outstanding lifting from Emily. She said, whatever you can do, I can do better, and she did it with precision. Look at the smile. 3 from 3. Needs to refocus now. That's only half of the job done. Brilliant technical lifting from Emily. Lots of leg drive, loads of height on the bar. She's under it just as the bar changes direction.
Well, it's worth remembering, isn't it, Michaela? She is a world-class lifter, Olympic bronze medalist, world bronze medalist.
A world-class lifter is unquestionable, and she's a true professional as well. She's really taken the ambassadorship that's been presented to her as a result of her success last year in Tokyo, and has just taken it to a new level. She really is a role model for so many.
Yeah, I said to her, you know, what's it meant to your life? I said, you know, do you treat yourself? And she said, well, I do. I said, well, what was the latest treat? She said, well, a pair of Chanel shoes.
And she's a real character as well as Emily.
Oh, she's a lovely person. And that's part of it. You know, when you've got someone who has taken on the role of an ambassador, goes around the schools, you know, so easy to talk to. Well, let's show you the situation at the top of the leaderboard. Well, there you can see Emily Campbell, 124 kilos. That's a games record, personal best. And there's that all-important 3-kilo advantage. But for Kuinini Manuamua, she's in the bronze medal position as it stands at the halfway. American Samoan by birth, based out of San Francisco, and these days representing Tonga. There the other kilos that have been listed. You can see big gaps beginning to really open up as we look forward to the clean and jerk. So, battle has been joined. Let's have a look at how this competition unfolded. Well, Michaela, almost predictably, we have two battles going on here, for gold and for silver, and then for the bronze.
We certainly do. Gold and silver, well, they look to be so far ahead that they're untouchable. But we've got Tonga, Canada, India, we've got Australia, all within 5, 6, 7 kilos of each other, and it's down to those 4 lifters now And it's interesting, the Australian with the 100 snatch, she's got the biggest clean and jerk with a 125. You've got Tonga with a 107 snatch, she's got a 118. So it could balance out here in the clean and jerk in the fight for the bronze medal.
Emily Campbell, who loves music and actually loves going to festivals, not necessarily the big names, but local festivals and music, really gets it. It's one of her ways of just relaxing.
Yeah, and it's nice that the lifters have got something to go to as an escape.
So let's have a look at this again.
That's right, 124 kilos, a new personal best, a new games record for Emily Campbell. And doesn't she look good? Just showing the world how it's done. She really has made her mark here as a world-class lifter.
Well, Emily's fired up, but this woman is only 3 kilos behind. She's the defending champion. It's certainly not going to be a pushover.
It's not. This really could go anywhere. And remember, you've got Emily Campbell, you've got Fagega Stowers out there as top 2 favourites, but anything can happen, as we've seen in previous competitions. So it really is down to the others to fight to get the very best performance they can and try and make the biggest total possible.
And Fagega Stowers has posted 150 kilos for her opening clean and jerk, and this is her getting 121 kilos to stay in touch. Really important final attempt, otherwise she would have been left on 117, but that was a good last attempt. Good recovery.
It really was, really good recovery, and it just shows the discipline and the focus that these lifters have got.
Well, there's the woman in 3rd place. Well, wouldn't it be something if Tonga could get a bronze medal here?
It certainly would.
Oh my gosh, this one's broken. This one's broken, but you can look at these ones.
So, less than 4 minutes to go. This is the woman who's in San Francisco and at business school. And this was her effort, which earned her 107 kilos, but that's good enough at the moment to be in the bronze medal position.
We often spoke just briefly on camera. Simone is absolutely incredible, isn't she? Can you explain to this crowd just how close...
Fair to say that she's got a bit more experience than 1 or 2 others, and a bronze medal last season in the Oceania. These athletes to train.
It certainly does, and it's such a huge endorsement having that kind of support. Takes the pressure off financially.
Lives outside Valletta, but then nowhere's too far from the Maltese capital. So 100 kilos for Alicia's opener. No worries there. Down signal given by the central referee. 3 flags because for some reason some of the electronics are not working at this moment. So that gives her a total of 180 kilos.
Big drive to arm's length. Bar goes there straight away, no problems. So the rules specify bar must go to arm's length. There's not allowed to be any movement in the elbows. If so, we could have jury intervention or lift being failed even though they've gone overhead.
So just to again whet your appetite, Fagega Stowers of Samoa, 150 kilos. She's entered for her first clean and jerk. Emily Campbell, 155. Good psychology.
Just worth noting for those that haven't followed the sport for the last couple of years, no longer does body weight play a part in positions. It used to be the lighter lifter won if 2 lifters lifted the same. Now it's the first lifter to the weight that takes the lead.
And of course, being over 87 kilos, the body weights of these women vary, but being heavier doesn't necessarily mean that you'll lift more.
No, not necessarily. Carrying excess weight that doesn't contribute to good power output is not necessarily beneficial.
Helen Sapoa for Fiji on 102 kilos, brings forward 85 kilos from the first half of the competition. Needs to stand still, does that, and a good lift awarded.
103 kilograms remains on the barbell.
Strong leg drive from the floor. Bit of an early arm bend, doesn't matter. Stands strong. The fact the bar is wonky, that doesn't matter either. So long as when she does the jerk, it goes to arm's length in one continuous movement. That adjustment on the shoulders, that's allowed. But you're only allowed to have one dip and drive.
Malta, second attempt, 103 this time, going for a personal best. Happiness, delight. And it's quite normal, isn't it, at this level of competition, so many athletes going for personal bests and achieving them, because for them this is the competition of their lives.
It is the competition of their lives, and they come out here with ambition. Some would be for medals, others for personal bests and personal marks, and she's certainly coming out here and doing that. She's not going to play for the medals, but she is doing outstandingly well to push her own limits.
I remember every lift counts here, because, as we highlighted, there's a battle for gold and silver. There's another one for bronze. In picture, Timali Haputhena, representing Sri Lanka. She's asked for 105 kilos for her first attempt.
You can see here a big drive to arm's length. Absolutely no issues with that. Ideally, you'd like to recover front foot, then back foot. That just demonstrates you're on balance, under control.
So, Alicia now on a competition stage. This is the tough one. And she's up to lifting 105 kilos. Third attempt. Well, she had a couple of problems in the first part of the competition, but 3 out of 3 in the clean and jerk.
Good extension, lands it well. The adjustment off the shoulders to get a better grip. Nice straight dip, bar over shoulders and shoulders over hips.
Finishes with a total of 185. And that's 5 kilos up on the pre-competition entry total that her coach submitted for her. So that's well done. And now to Fiji, second attempt for Helen Sapoa. 108 kilos. Lying in second place at the moment, 6 kilo increase.
She's okay, but she needs to move backwards.
Moves around quite a lot, but gets the lift that matters.
That's right, the 4 metre square platform. So long as the lifter executes the lift on the platform, they can run all over the place. But here she goes right to the front. That leaves her no room to split the feet forwards and back. So that's why she steps back. Now the overhead position, phenomenal. Really good drive, super lock overhead.
Increases her total to 193 kilos. She's 1 kilo behind the lifter from Sri Lanka, Thimali. Who now comes on to take a second attempt. This is a 5 kilo increase. This is good lifting.
Yeah, 2 from 2, 105, 110, 1 attempt remaining. How far will she push it? Will she go up another 5 kilos? But this jerk overhead, absolutely superb.
112, her lifetime best in clean and jerk. Big cheer from the Cook Islanders. Look at that. They packed in to support their lifter, Manine, at the bar. First attempt, 111 kilos. There's a bit more to come than 111.
Yeah, she looks very, very powerful. Well, it's high fives all round. Here we go. Big drive, lovely drive through the start position. Back leg is a little straight. That'll pull the hips behind the bar. She's very, very powerful to arm's length.
And a nice little feature, the audience behind us in the stands, they've all been equipped with wristbands.
Yeah.
And they've got wristbands that glow green if it's a good lift, red if it's a fail. Bar going up to 113 kilos. And this is for the Fijian. Saipua currently in 3rd place, but so many lifters still to start. Well, she's well in excess of her previous best. I had her best clean and jerk at 105 and now going for 113 kilos.
No lift.
I would absolutely agree with you. Press outs.
And she looks to the board, she knows it as well. Oof, 2 to 1 against, so that is a no lift. If she'd have reacted a bit more positively, then if the referee was in doubt, they may have given it, but take a look here. The elbow lock, the bar must go to arm's length and stay there. It's bent. Now they're straight. That's not allowed. No movement allowed in the elbows. The rules on this are pretty hot, and they're being adhered to as well.
But part of the weightlifter's craft is, even when you know you've had a press out, behave as if you haven't.
Yeah, exactly. If you have done that, you at least put the bar down and celebrate as if it's a good lift.
Nimali looking for 113 kilos, third attempt.
Well, she'll be a little disappointed with that. You can see it in her face, but I'm sure she will reflect on this as overall as a good performance. Every lifter has come with ambition, and I tell you what, it's going to require 3 out of 3 from every lifter to achieve that ambition. Not many weightlifters leave a weightlifting competition totally satisfied, but here the strength is in the legs and the back, unable to maintain a strong position as she stands up out of that deep squat position. The execution to get there was good, but there, back rounds, drops the chest.
Yeah, totals up, finishes on 199 kilos. Bit of perspective. So she entered a total of 187, so 12 kilos up on that. So now to the Cook Islands. 113 kilos. This is only a 2 kilo increase. Well, it's well okay, but I was looking for a bit more.
You're right, David. I was expecting probably up to about 115 or so. Just a couple of kilos, a little conservative, but she knows what she's capable of. It's not for us to make that call, but she catches the bar plenty high enough, has brilliant leg strength. The jerk also looked good. I thought for a moment at the end she might struggle to hold it. But here you can see it's overhead. She got the down signal and she was under control.
Comes from the main island of Rarotonga, one of the 15 islands that make up the Cook Islands, in the Pacific, of course. So just about to move forward to get into the battle for the bronze medal.
Well, the battle has started backstage at the technical table. This is where the coaches are changing the weight. They're just waiting for their athlete to be called at the moment. It's Tonga that have been called. Tonga are changing the weight, so we're not going to bother announcing that. Now it goes to India. What's the Indian contingent going to do? They're not moving. Their lifter is sat on platform sides. They're not going to come in at 120. They're just waiting for the bar to be loaded and the clock to start ticking, and they will change the weight. There it is.
So the bar up to 120 kilos now.
Well, we've just had an announcement that the previous attempt is being reviewed. That was a very late call. I didn't see any call on that. So it must be the jury that have intervened here. It was given as a good lift. There were no issues for me. At the end, just as she was given the down signal, there was a little bit of movement in the shoulders. So let's just wait for the announcement.
Pedro Sanchez from Australia is the president of the jury. Here we go.
Take a look here. Drives to arm's length. That looks fine to me. She recovers. Now, just as they give her the down signal, I'm hoping the camera go there. That movement there, that was the shoulders, not the elbows, and she steadied it before the down signal, so I don't see any issues with that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so she asked, well, she went from 111, we said up to 113. It was just a 2 kilo increase, but the bar was incorrectly loaded. It was actually 116. What a bonus. She's actually got 116.
Well, the 116 has given her a total of 202, and she leads at the moment. So a little wry smile
well, there you go. You add the weight up. That is the 116. Nobody picked up on it. It was just the jury right at the end. Fair play.
Yeah, and the technical controller should have been sharp on that to make sure it was loaded
And
correctly.
the referees.
So Kuinini Manumua in third place, bronze medal position at the halfway stage. 121 kilos for the woman representing Tonga. There's the half-minute buzzer. that's okay. And she's on her way.
Yeah, really good opener. Looks solid, looks consistent. She's got to keep her focus now. Good extension. Catches it near enough in a very high power. Good leg drive overhead. This young lady is very, very powerful.
And just to put this into context, the different phases of the competition, that has earned the woman from Tonga a total of 228. And she's actually 26 kilos ahead of the woman now on the stage, Manine Lynch, who, as we now know, lifted 116 kilos. And this is another 5.
No lift, I don't think. She got it to arm's length. Don't turn around and look at the board. That's the worst thing you can do. Well, she gave it a great go, didn't she, David?
Well, what do they say? You win some, you lose some.
She cleaned that. That's like 10 kilos above her best. Huge drive, gave it everything. We'll watch the right arm, both arms, in fact. They were bent when she received it. Then she straightened. That's a no lift. And she knew it as soon as she turned around.
So she's enjoyed the experience, which I'm really happy, because it's a long way from the South Pacific, from the Cook Islands to Birmingham. So the woman from Rarotonga, country with rugged mountains, lies in second place at the moment. And now Emma Friesen very much in the hunt for Canada for a bronze medal. But her quest for that medal begins right here, right now, with this 123 kilo first attempt. Brought forward 106 kilos. Gets the first all-important clean and jerk.
Very impressive opener from Emma Friesen. Good explosion, good extension. You can see the acceleration even in slow motion. Now from here, feet are wonky when she jerks, but that's okay. Dip straight, big drive, no problem.
So the result of that is that Emma Friesen of Canada and Kuinini Manumua, I should say, of Tonga, are both locked together on 220 kilos at the moment. Now, hoping to join the party will be the Indian lifter Purnima Pandey. She brings 103 kilos forward. She failed that third snatch attempt at 108 kilos, which would have been incredibly valuable, but that's history now. But she's looking for 125 kilos to stay in contention with the Canadian and the Tongan. No problems with that.
No, she's opted for the power jerk. So for those of you new to the sport, most of the lifters will split the feet forwards and back. That's the split jerk. And in this case, we see a power jerk. That's where the feet move out to the side, often referred to as a push jerk in CrossFit. The dip and the drive is exactly the same, just the receiving position that is different. Once again, as long as the bar goes to arm's length and the elbows do not bend, it's a good lift.
So just a little correction on my side. Emma Friesen of Canada has got 229. Manumua of Tonga 228. And now Purnima Pandey also 228. So just a kilo between three lifters fighting for the bronze medal, or so it would seem. And Manumua now for Tonga Still 3 lifters to start their clean and jerk challenges. Charisma Amo-Tarrant from Australia, Emily Campbell for England, and Fernige Stoers for Samoa. Four-kilo increase. Needs to stand still. Little rotation. I think it's okay.
Absolutely fine. The rotation is irrelevant. That was a brilliant lift. Now, the clean, she caught very, very high and rode it in quickly. But watch this jerk. Look at the split position. She goes a long way forwards and backwards, dropping the body low enough to receive. She has to catch it at arm's length. And that's what you need to do when the weight gets really heavy.
So gets back into the lead. 232 kilos. So Tonga leading the bronze medal chase. Emma Friesen looking to take 128 kilos, which would be a 5-kilo increase, which would put her back into the lead. And Purnima Pandey at the moment also looking for a 5-kilo increase, which would certainly keep her in the chase for the bronze medal. But even those three know that Charisma Amo-Tarrant, who is about to enter the battle. Now, she got 100 kilos, so she's playing catch-up, but the first clean and jerk attempt here is for 127 kilos, which would obviously give her 227, which would get her within a kilo of Purnima Pandey, who's currently in 3rd place.
That's right, David. This first attempt is the catch-up weight, and then it's all to play for.
So, Charisma, 23 years of age, silver medalist 4 years ago in the Gold Coast for Nauru. Well, lift achieved. What's interesting is 4 years ago, clean and jerked 142 kilos.
One thing I'm not happy with here is the T-shirt that she's wearing. That T-shirt too close to the elbows for my liking, obstructing view. I'm pretty sure she's not supposed to be wearing something that is that long. If you're going to wear something that covers the elbow, it's got to be tight-fitting. I'm surprised she hasn't been picked up by the jury for this.
So 5 kilos separating the top 4 at the moment. And Emma Friesen, these days from Quebec for Canada, lying in 2nd place, and now wants these 5 extra kilos to take her to 234 to put her into at least the medal position. Good second attempt.
Yeah, really good lift, and that's another nice one to have on the board. 5 kilos up from her opener. She looks calm, she looks composed. Gets really good extension, the speed under the bar, catches the timing well to stand straight out. Power once again to arm's length is brilliant. Look at her foot position. 1 foot slightly forwards than the other. It doesn't matter, so long as when the lift is finished, both feet are in line, that will do.
2 or 3 kilos more available?
I reckon 3 or 4.
Okay. Whether she needs 3 or 4 or more, we'll see.
She'll take whatever she needs in an attempt to get on the podium.
This is fascinating. What a good fight this is. So, Koinini Manumua for Tonga. Going here for her third attempt and looking for a 3-kilo increase from 125 to 128. This would give her the necessary kilo to go ahead of the Canadian. It's been a very good competition for her so far, but this is very much new territory for her. Needs to step back a 2 or 3 paces. Big effort. Come on. Good for you.
Outstanding for me. That lift was huge. That has put her right up into the lead. Remember, we've got the 2 big lifters yet to start. So everybody now is fighting for top spot before they come out in an attempt to secure a place on the podium. The stagger forwards, she showed composure to move back, reset, refocused, and the split was brilliant. Super long, super low, absolutely nailed it.
The way these women are lifting, they all sort of deserve the bronze medal, but the reality is that Charisma Amo-Tarrant of Australia's got 2 attempts left. Purnima Pandey of India's got 2 attempts left. And Emma Friesen of Canada's got 1 at her disposal. So this is far from done.
This is about consistency, and every single lift that we see now will be an attempt for these 4 lifters to try and get top spot. They need to be in the lead before England and Samoa start their campaign.
So Emma Friesen, a 4-kilo increase, which will take her to 238. So she's conscious of the fact that just the odd kilo wouldn't be enough anyway. She has a personal best of 131, so this is just a kilo extra. Let's say just a kilo extra. But these are the high stakes. The Canadian women have been simply outstanding.
The lead changes again. This time, Emma Friesen of Canada smiles around. They're answering the questions. That's all these lifters can do. Once again, the clean is strong. Drops the chest a little as she stands, hence the step forward. It was so good overhead. Canada in top spot.
Tonga down to second place at the moment, which means that Koinini will know that the bronze medal has passed her by on this occasion, but all credit to her, she's lifted really, really well. And now India with 2 attempts at the disposal of Purnima Pandey, going from 125 to 133, which is an 8-kilo increase here. Doing this, she hopes, in 2 steps. And that was just simply not in her head.
She's done. I cannot see how she can recover psychologically from that. As you said, David, it wasn't in her head. This is an 8-kilo increase. I think it's too much. She doesn't believe it, and you want to try correcting that psychological state in just 2 minutes. Very, very hard.
Yeah, well, it will definitely be her coming out next, because Charisma Amo-Tarrant of Australia has posted 135 for her second attempt.
You would think by saying to her, do you want a medal, that would be enough motivation. Well, she needs to believe it if she's going to have any chance of this. She's strong enough. Is she strong enough mentally is the question.
Well, there's another issue here, because 8 kilos wouldn't have put her into the lead. So, you know, they'd have to put up the weight. You know, this is about the bronze medal. It's not about the silver or the gold.
And that's the question being asked. They were thinking, this would be a stepping stone towards it, but now they've got the question, do we just go out with this again? And I think they have to now because the clock has run too far.
Keep making that noise, it's a water tank, and you hope that you'll support.
Well, she's left in a situation where she can just now really go for the highest ranking position.
She hasn't actually started the lift. The bar hasn't passed her knees.
Didn't really make any difference at all, did it? And she stays where she is, which at the moment is in rank number 3. So it's all down to Charisma Amo-Tarrant. At the moment, Emma Friesen of Canada, with 238 kilos, is in that bronze medal position. And I'm sure there'll be a few nerves back home in the Machine Rouge Club, which is the club she lives out of in Canada. And so the bronze medal now, assuming that the big two don't make a mess of things, resting between Australia and Canada. Canada, who've got the kilos in the bag, and Charisma, who needs to make up the deficit. And what an increase. 12 kilos to go to 239 to try and get that bronze medal at her second attempt.
Is it there? Is it there? Let's wait for the referee's decision here. Oh, they've given it to her. 3 white lights.
And that puts the Australian ahead of the Canadian. And I mentioned a few moments ago when she got the silver medal at the Gold Coast for Nauru 4 years ago, she clean and jerked 142 kilos.
Let's take a look here at the elbows. The question is, does the bar go to arm's length? Well, we've seen lifts with less movement in the elbows and that failed, but she's been given it 3 white lights into a guaranteed medal position.
Subject to no problems with Emily Campbell and Fernaya Stoers.
Oh, so should I say guaranteed a medal?
Yeah. So the Australian has got one more lift to take, and the bar's gone to 140 kilos. So disappointment for Emma Friesen of Canada and Kuinini Manumua of Tonga and Purnima Pandey of India. Well, this is some success story for Charisma, because it's not only the lifter who got the silver medal 4 years ago, but coming back for those knee and elbow injuries, a long recuperation which has taken 2 years, and that's some reward.
It really is. It's just so hard when you're injured to make that comeback, and what we see here is the spectacle. What we see is the icing on the cake, where lifters can celebrate peak performance, but what we don't see is all the hard work that goes into this, and for some of these lifters it can be decades of training. And it certainly is not all about the highs. There's a lot of challenges and adversity these lifters need to overcome.
Well, she's got a medal, as we've said, probably the bronze medal. Is she up to lifting 100? Oh, she's gone to 145 kilos. Well, this is really a lifetime's best that she's going for. But why not?
When you have a crowd like this, you've got to use them. And she is asking for a bit more help.
And she's got the clean, adjusts. A bit of an anticlimax, but nonetheless, she knows she's got a medal. And what a return to the competition stage at the Commonwealth Games. And as we said, silver 4 years ago can't be worse than bronze.
Well, a brilliant, gutsy effort. You cannot fault the commitment, to have the commitment to drop under a clean, the legs to stand. It's not going to take long before this weight is popped overhead.
So, we've had the appetizer, we've tasted the hors d'oeuvre, now comes the main course. Pernega Stoers, the defending champion, starting her clean and jerk challenge. Remember, she is 3 kilos adrift of Emily Campbell. Coming out here on 147 kilos. Well, that was so nearly lost.
That was hard work. She originally posted 150 at the weigh-in a few hours ago, but has chosen to come down to 147. Maybe warm-up not going to plan. That huge lean back and flick with the hips is what's cost her to walk forwards. Almost gets a bit of oscillation on that bar, which isn't allowed. But the bar goes to arm's length, no problem.
So she's reached the Commonwealth Games standard with that jerk, but actually set a new Commonwealth Games total record of 268 kilos.
And obviously, she's in the lead.
Absolutely.
Charisma Amoataran in representing Australia is down now in silver medal position. Emma Friesen of Canada down in bronze. How long will she stay there? And Emily Campbell will have something to say about that.
So Emily Campbell, again, interesting here. It was 155, and Emily Campbell coming down to 152. Probably a sensible move.
Well, Stoers of Samoa has shot her bar up to 156. What she's doing is forcing Emily Campbell out and to play her first card. Then Stoers will have an idea of what might be needed. Emily is experienced. She needs to focus here.
Yeah, this particular weight is well within her compass.
Waiting for the 30-second buzzer. There it is.
Terrific.
Is that going to be enough? Will she be forced to take any more? 152. She's up into the gold medal position. 2 attempts remaining. Tremendous drive to arm's length, and there is absolutely no question about how good a lift that was. That was awesome.
Just a little sidebar. Her sister, Kelsey, who's been competing here in the Commonwealth Games for Jamaica in the swimming pool, in the 100 fly, here in the audience to see big sister. Of course, representing England. And Pernega Stoers. ...154 kilos, so 7 kilo increase here.
If successful, this will only be enough to stay in second place. It will not take the lead.
But it will keep her in touch. We were sort of conscious that from the first effort that it wasn't quite right.
Watch this swing back there, that horrible whip back of the shoulders. The early arm bend, and then that just takes all the momentum off the bar. She's really struggling to get the height necessary. Just about gets under, but it pulls her forwards and collapses. You compare that to Emily's lift, where the bar trajectory is much more in an upward direction. This is where it shows the difference in technique results in the difference in weightlifting. Under pressure here, needs, well, I say needs to make this one. This weight is not going to affect things. So if she comes out for this, Emily Campbell is guaranteed the gold.
Absolutely. Because at the moment, she finds herself 8 kilos adrift. So she'd have to take 155, 156.
Yeah, and the coaching staff from England know it as well. So now they're just discussing, well, what do we go? After this, where does England go?
So 154, as Michaela has just explained, is not enough. Well, we knew it before the lift. We now can say it, that Emily Campbell is Commonwealth Games champion of the women's super heavyweight over 87 kilos, and has 2 attempts at her disposal to show us what a world-class lifter she is.
Well, Cyril's told me she's done a 1:62 in training. Bar now up to 157.
She's done a 161 in competition. So 157 on the bar, 5 kilo increase.
Well, listen to the noise for England's flag bearer.
England's 3rd gold medal in the world of weightlifting at these games. After Sarah Davis, after Chris Murray. So 157 kilos, 2nd attempt for the golden girl of British weightlifting, and on this stage, English weightlifting. Lovely clean. Celebrates.
What a wonderful effort from Emily Campbell. She confirms her place as the champion and is thoroughly enjoying the moment. Still 1 attempt remaining. She's putting on a spectacle here for us today in the NEC.
Bronze medalist 4 years ago in the Commonwealth Games. Bronze medalist at the Olympics. Last year, bronze medalist at the World Championships. 2-time a European champion, but now confirmed as the Commonwealth Games champion by some margin. And the bar going to 160, but they might increase it even more. So she's got all the Commonwealth Games records, 124 in the snatch, now 157 in the clean and jerk, a total of 281.
So Stu Martin backstage there, just playing the clock.
They're going to push this up, aren't they?
Yes, they are. He's just done it now, 161.
Push it up again.
All they're doing is letting the bar be loaded. When the loaders are on the platform, the clock stops. It gives more time to recover. The problem is the loaders are too quick. Well, the crowd may be going crazy, but I'll tell you right now, the only thing she can hear is Dave Sawyer's voice giving whatever advice he is.
And the bar's gone to 162, so she wants the personal best. She deserves to get the personal best. The scoreboard makes it look a lot easier than it really is. You look at 281, you look at Stowers from Samoa in second place at 268, and it looks as if she's run away with it. But if she gets this, she has.
She's run away with it regardless. She is the out-and-out class lifter in this category. Struggling to recover a little from the previous attempt. She will make the most of the time on the clock.
England's finest female lifter, Great Britain's finest female lifter. 162 to bring proceedings to a close with hopefully a crescendo of appreciation. The same focus, the same concentration. It's all gone to plan. Emily Campbell, Commonwealth Games champion, super heavyweight, wonderful performance, 6 out of 6, and hugs for all the coaches. Come on, says Emily. Let's rock, let's roll.
Wonderful performance, a wonderful spectacle. She was England's flag bearer. She's now going to be England's gold medal bearer here in the women's 87 plus category. Let's see how it happened. Did not put a foot wrong here. Caught the whip lovely. There's a couple more kilos there on the clean, I'm sure. Cyril Martin back home will be watching in delight. Focused, a concentration with such big pressure on her shoulders. She executed to perfection.
What do they say? Isn't it great when a plan comes together?
Well, that plan went better than planned, I think. There's going to be a lot of hugs, a lot of congratulations.
And huge recognition from the world of weightlifting about this woman and her ability. Matthew Curtin there, the recently elected Chief Executive Officer of British Weightlifting. What an amazing thing for him to come into the job and have stars like Chris Murray, like Sarah Davis, like Emily Campbell, and there are others. But British weightlifting, and on this platform, English weightlifting.
Well, English weightlifting have out and out been the standout performers here. As you said, 3 gold medals. That is huge. And to have Chris Murray as our first male lifter from England
for 20 years
on top of that plate, that was just remarkable. And he's so young as well. Wow, look at that. There's a picture right there.
Yeah.
From one legend to another. Precious Mackenzie to Emily Campbell.
4 times Commonwealth Games champion Precious, who's had a wonderful reception here.
And there it is, one more time. Emily Campbell, absolutely in control. And the emotion can now be released. She can enjoy this moment. She's going to be very tired over the next week or so with all the press and all the media that will be required of her.
And there the silver medalist, the woman who actually defeated Emily Campbell 4 years ago, has to settle for the silver medal. And maybe it was that 2-year break. Very difficult to reorganise and come back after such a long gap. But Samoa looking happy enough, though, nonetheless.
Now, they would have known that they had an uphill battle. She had left no stone unturned, left it all out there on the platform.
Yeah, and Charisma Amoa-Tarrant, another woman who had a break, coming back to get an excellent clean and jerk to, well, grab the bronze medal away from Emma Friesen of Canada. Well, she's really happy, isn't she?
Absolutely, Charisma Amoa-Tarrant from Australia. That was a performance and a half. And you just sense, with the noise going on here, it's becoming a party atmosphere.
Stu and Miles congratulating each other, coach to coach. Sam Coffer, the technical delegate responsible for these championships, also coming over. He's Aussie, congratulating Charisma on her bronze medal.
Interesting. Cyril Martin has just dropped me a message and got in touch. He said he's so happy with that performance. Emily's actually been practicing her jerks on a men's bar to help improve them.
So, confirmation. Champion, Commonwealth Games champion, Emily Campbell. As Michaela said, not a foot wrong, 6 out of 6. All those figures are new Commonwealth Games records. And she takes the gold, gives a clean pair of heels to Penagastoas of Samoa, who takes the silver. Charisma Amoa-Tarrant of Australia, the bronze. Emma Friesen, well, you can see how close she was, just a kilo away. And then a very good performance by Kuanini Manumua, a great fight for the bronze on 235 kilos. It was really tight for the fight for the bronze medals. And for a while, at least, Purnima Pandey of India was also in that fight. Manina Lynch for the Cook Islands. Thoroughly enjoyable performance by her, 202 kilos. Thalima for Sri Lanka, also exceeding her entry total handsomely. So let's go backstage, where one legend, Dame Kelly Holmes, is beside herself, congratulating Emily Campbell. Double Olympic gold medalist, of course, Dame Kelly Holmes from Athens.
And I've been very, very fortunate to be there when Kelly won both of her gold medals.
So
now I'm here with this one. It's just, it really is one legend to another. And both of these women in picture are huge role models, now and forever.
Well, what a competition. A fantastic outcome, of course, for England and for Emily. But there was a real feast of lifting. Let's reflect on what's just happened over the last 90 minutes. Hey ho. Well, perhaps they're going to give her the freedom of Alfreton and Nottingham. And I hope everyone at the Atlas Club really enjoyed that, because yet again, Emily Campbell has made them proud. Now, over the weekend, of course, the Lionesses won the European Championships, and quite rightly, they dominated all the media, all the newspapers, everything. But hey, wouldn't it be right that Emily Campbell is on the front page of every English newspaper tomorrow?
Well, I sure hope so. She thoroughly deserves it.
And I just love the fact that all these different nations, coaches, lifters, are coming over to Emily to congratulate her, to recognise and respect her for the lifter, for the athlete that she is.
You're 100% right, David. The friendly games, everybody gets on so well out of competition. It's just that moment when they're on the platform, and in fairness, they're not battling each other, they're battling the bar in front of them.
Now, if you're up for presenting the medals, this is one of the medal presentations where you should be fighting to be the man or woman who is going to have that honour. Here we go. Almost set. The moment that you work for, and these are the three women, all who have achieved Commonwealth Games medalists for the women's super heavyweight class.
The medals will be presented by Amma Akwiti, board member of the Birmingham 2022 Organising Committee.
Well, there's the gentleman who has the honour of presenting the medals.
Accompanied by Tamara Ahmed Syed, Secretary General of the Commonwealth Games Association of Maldives. The bronze medalists, representing Australia, Charisma Amoy Tarrant.
At the age of 23, the silver medalist for Nauru in this super heavyweight class of 4 years ago when it was over 90 kilos, returns from injury to capture the bronze. 4 out of 6 lifts, 100 in the snatch, 139 for a total of 239. Good recoveries to earn that glittering bronze medal.
The silver medalists, representing Samoa, Fernanda Stowers.
Fernanda Stowers, well, she knows what it's like to be on the podium. This time she has to settle for the silver medal. 121 kilos in the snatch, 147 in the clean and jerk for 268. Four years ago, totaled up 253 to win the gold. And Emily Campbell of England at the age of 28, another great honour, but a very special one to be Commonwealth Games champion. Sets all the records, 124 kilos in the snatch, 162 kilos in the clean and jerk. A total Commonwealth Games record of 286 kilos. The arena is at her feet. A very proud moment for a very special woman, a very special athlete. And now the national anthem of England to recognise yet another great achievement by Emily. What a season Emily Campbell has had, retaining her European title and now gold in the Commonwealth Games. Bring on the Worlds, bring on the Olympics in Paris.
She's in the shape of her life, David. Let's hope this shape continues to blossom.
Now she can celebrate. Well, I say now, she's going to be occupied with the media for a few hours yet.
A few days, David, at least.
There are those glittering medals designed by the students from the jewellery school here in Birmingham, produced by the famous Jewellery Quarter. Hey ho. Here we go. Let the party begin.
Now the party has well and truly begun behind us. Emily deserves absolutely everything that is coming her way. A true role model and inspiration to so many people. I know she's done some wonderful work in the local schools here in the Midlands, and I'm sure she will continue to be an ambassador for many years to come.